Daf Yomi, Tractate Zevachim, page 22, Daf Chaf Bet, Chaf Beis, and starting from the bottom of Chaf Aleph, Amid Beis, the bottom, Meisvei, Kolekelim, Mikajin Bein, Sheesh Bain Ravis. The Gemara raises an objection from a bride to the priests may sanctify their hands and feet from all vessels, whether they can hold a quarter log of water. And now we're turning to 22a, top of the page. Ben Shein Bahen Reis Ben Shein Bahen Reis Ubilvad Shiu Klei Shores. Or they cannot hold a quarter log of water, provided that they are service vessels. Apparently, the basin need not hold so much water. Rav Ada bar Acha says, the Braita is referring to a case where one drills a hole in the basin and places a much smaller vessel at the hole as a conduit for the water. Even if that vessel is very small, the priest may sanctify his hands and feet from it, provided that there is enough water in the basin for priests. The Gemara asks, but doesn't the Merciful One state that the priests must wash their hands and feet from it, meaning from the basin and not from another vessel? The Gemara responds, the following verse repeats the phrase, they should wash, to include any service vessel. Hihachi klichol nami amabaye klichol lo matzis amart mikal v'chomer mikano uma kano שנמשך עמו אינו מקדש klichol שאינו נמשך עמו אינו דין שאינו מקדש. The Gemara challenges, if so, then it should be permitted for a priest to use a non-sacred vessel as well. Abaye says, you cannot say that a priest may sanctify his hands and feet from a non-sacred vessel, since the matter may be derived by a a fortiori inference from the halacha concerning the base of the basin. And just as its base, which was anointed along with it, see Exodus 40:11, is still not fit for a priest to sanctify his hands and feet with water from it, then with regard to a non-sacred vessel, which was not anointed along with the basin, is it not right that it is not fit for a priest to sanctify his hands and feet with water from it? V'chano minalan, Titania, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, יכול יהיה כאן מקדש כדרך שתיאור מקדש, תלמוד לומר, ועשית קיר נחושת, תכנו נחושת. ונחושת יקשתיו, ולא לדבר אחר. The Gemara clarifies, and from where do we derive that water from the base of the basin is unfit? As it is taught in a Braita, the Rabbi Yehuda says one might have thought that water from its base should be fit for priests to sanctify their hands and feet, just as water from the basin itself is fit to sanctify their hands and feet. Therefore the verse states, you shall also make a basin of copper, and the base thereof of copper. Exodus 30:18. The verse indicates that I have equated the base and the basin only with regard to the requirement that they both be made of copper, but not for another matter. Rather, the base, unlike the basin, is unfit for sanctification. Amar le Malzutra bere derav mari le rabino ma lechanu sheina sui lesocho tomar b'chlichol she'asu lesocho ela mimeno motzi klichol. Bar Zutra, son of Rav Mari Sitravina, the a fortiori inference can be refuted. What is notable about its base? It is notable in that its inside is not made for use, as it is to be used only as a stand. Will you say that the halacha is the same for a non-sacred vessel, concerning which its inside is made for use? Rather, one must say that the term from it serves to exclude a non-sacred vessel. Ihachi, klishares nami, the Gemara challenges, if so, from it should exclude a service vessel as well. The Gemara responds, but the Merciful One amplifies the halacha with the term they should wash to include a service vessel. The Gemara asks, and what did you see that led you to include a service vessel and exclude a non-sacred vessel rather than the reverse? The Gemara responds, this, a service vessel, requires anointing like the basin when the tabernacle is raised. See Exodus chapter 40. And that, a non-sacred vessel, does not require anointing like the basin. Omer Reish Lakish, kol ha-mashlemei mikveh mashlemei kiyah. Reish Lakish says, any liquid that may be used to complete the requisite measure of water for a ritual bath may complete the requisite measure of water for the basin, but it may not complete the quarter log required for ritual washing of the hands.
אפילו להביס נמי ואי אין פרה שוחה ושותה ממנו אפילו למקווה נמי אין משלים.
The Gemara asks, this statement means to exclude what is unfit for completing the requisite measure of ritual washing of the hands. If we say that it means to exclude liquefied clay, there is a difficulty, as what is this clay like? If it is such that a cow can kneel and drink from it, it is considered water and should be fit even to complete the measure of a quarter log for ritual washing of the hands. And if a cow cannot kneel and drink from it, it should not even be fit to complete the requisite measure for a ritual bath.
Yavchushin adumin afilu bein nayu nami dehatanya Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel omer kol shetchilas bria somen hamayim matbilin bo yomer Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi matbilin be'eno shel dag.
Rather say that it means to exclude red gnats that originate and grow in water. This too is difficult, as even by themselves they may constitute the entire measure of the ritual bath, not only to complete a deficient measure of water, as it is taught in a Braita. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, with regard to anything that originates in the water, one may immerse in it, since it is considered as though it were water. And Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi says, one may immerse even in liquefied fish eye. What? One may immerse even in liquefied fish eye of sufficient volume. Matbilin be'eno shel dag.
Amar Rav Papa lemute natan.
Can you imagine the smell? Liquefied fish eye. And you're immersing in that.
Amar Rav Papa lemute nasan. Se'ah v'nasan se'ah ditnan mikveh sheyesh bo 40 sami chavanos. נעשה שיער ונטל שיער, הרי זה כשר. אמר רב יהודה בר שאלה, אמר רב אסי, אמר יוחנן עד רובו.
Rav Papa says the statement of Reish Lakish means to exclude a case where one added a se'ah and removed a se'ah, as we learned in the Mishnah, Mikvaot 7.2. In the case of a ritual bath that contains a minimum measure of exactly 40 se'ah of water, and one added a se'ah of liquid other than water, and then removed a se'ah of the mixture, the ritual bath remains fit. The added liquid is considered nullified in the 40 se'ah of water, so that when 1 se'ah of the mixture is removed, there still remains the requisite 40 saw of fit water. And Rabbi Yehuda Bar Shela says that Rav Asi says that Rabbi Yochanan says that this halach applies up to the greater part of the measure of the ritual bath, adding and removing such a liquid to the requisite measure for washing of the hands renders the water unfit. Amr Papa im kadach bo revi'is matbilim bo mechatin v'tzino riyos oil umech shera de mikvasi. Rav Papa says if one drilled in the wall of the ritual bath and the sides, the hole can hold a quarter log of liquid, one may immerse small vessels such as needles and hooks in the hole, even though it constitutes a space separate from the ritual bath, since the fitness of the water in the hole derives from the fitness of the water in the ritual bath. This halacha is parallel to the one discussed with regard to the basin. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah amar Reish Lakish mei mikvah kesherem lemekior. Rabbi Yirmiyah says, and Reish Lakish says, water of a ritual bath is fit to be used as water of the basin. Lememra de lo mayim chayim ninu v'tagim l'mayim v'lo b'yayim mayim v'lo b'mazuk v'mayim v'lo abo shamayim v'kal v'chayim lemekior may kal v'chayim lemekior lav tamim chayim ninu. The Gemara asks, is this to say that the water in the basin does not need to be flowing water, meaning spring water? But isn't it taught in Braita? The verse indicates that the innards of an offering must be washed with water, Leviticus 1:9, and not with wine, with water, and not with wine mixed with water to include other types of water, even those that are not spring water. And it can be inferred by Kal V'chomer that the water used for the basin may be used to wash the innards. What is the basis of the Kal V'chomer inference that the water used for the basin may also be used? Is it not that is from a source of flowing water and therefore obviously fit for washing the innards? No. The Gemara responds, no, the a fortiori means the Kal V'chomer inference is based on the fact that the water used for the basin is sanctified for the service. The Gemara asks, but is sanctified water preferable, given that the Torah stipulates simply water, but didn't Rabbi Shmuel? It's not Rabbi Shmuel, it says Tani Devei Shmuel. Meaning Shmuel shouldn't be Rabbi Shmuel. They learned in the house of Shmuel. Tana Devei Shmuel. They learned by Shmuel. The word water is used in the verse denotes specifically water whose name has no modifier. And now we turn to 22b, the top. Yatsu mekior sheyesh lehem shem lavai era la'am deroim mekior ama mayim chayim minu. It's water that has its name has no modifier. Excluded is water of the basin, which has a modifier in its name. Rather, since the writer cannot be referring to water that is fit to water the basin, cannot be referring to water of the basin itself, as it is unfit for washing the innards. Is it not referring to water that is fit to water the basin? Apparently, the only reason such water could be preferable is because it is flowing water. Okay, and continue, God willing, after the break.